If you're a landlord out there and you've been in the game for a while or you're new to it and you're just thinking to yourself, you're tired of dealing with the tenants, you're tired of dealing with the toilets, and you're thinking about selling, it's more common than you think. I run into it quite often. And honestly, it's the best sellers that I work with because there's a lot of flexibility. But this is the video for you. If we haven't met before, my name is John Cummings. I'm with Dad Life Property Solutions. Me, my wife, my 4 boys, we go all across the Lehigh Valley and we're renovating properties, we're fixing, flipping them, we're renting them. But mostly we're here to help you, the property owner, right? We're out there trying to help solve your problems, mainly through offering solutions through purchasing and acquiring properties, but we're also open to anything else out there, even if it's just giving you some advice on what we think, helping you through a sale either as is or on market. Feel free to reach out to us anytime. All our information is in the description below. Feel free to check out our website, dadlifepropertysolutions.com also, and you can find more information there. But today we're talking about the landlords out there. You know, you've been in the game for a while. You're probably watching this video thinking, why in the world does this guy want to take my property that I don't even want? Well, if you've been in the game for a while, you know it's a marathon for sure. It's not a sprint. We're doing the same thing that you guys did when you were first starting out. And we're out there hustling, getting up properties, trying to do our best to take good care of them and take care of the tenants and build up our own portfolios. If that is you and you've already done that, I commend you. Good for you. I definitely salute you. It's not easy and I respect it. But again, tired landlords, they come up all the time and there's no shame in it. Put your time in and you want to be done. And there's a lot of situations that I come across that we're going to go over today. Situation number 1 is constant repairs. You've been in the business for a while, obviously you know repairs are a part of the deal. If you're new to investing in real estate and you just maybe got one of your bigger properties under contract, or you just got one, you're finding out that cash flow isn't really what my cash flow should be because, yeah, it covers my mortgage and I technically have, $200 after some expenses, but then you get hit with a hot water heater, right? $3,000. You get hit with an HVAC repair, another couple grand. You get hit with these little nitpicky things here and there, and this is the biggest mistake with newer investors is they don't account for these repairs that you have to make fairly frequently, especially if you're buying older properties. If you bought in the last 3 years, you probably paid a lot of money for it, and depending on your market, you could be underwater even based on interest rates rising. So you could be underwater and making repairs on older properties because you bought it when the market was hot, and now you're dealing with it. Good news is there's a lot of ways that you can take care of that. Bad news is dealing with it. It's a lot of stress and could be having to deal with mortgage payments and tenant issues and repairs, and it's just piling on and piling on and piling on, and it can be very stressful, right? If you're an older landlord out there, there's just property you have that's just nitpicking you. You just don't want to deal with it. It's just a problem child. There's always something going on with it, or you've had it for a long time and you made repairs when you initially got it, and now it's just again nickeling and diming you, and you're thinking about potentially offloading it or looking at other options. That's why people reach out to us, because we take on those properties. Situation number 2 is tenant stress. So tenant stress, this is the most overlooked thing that is overlooked when they're buying multifamily housing or even single family housing that they're looking to rent, is the tenant issue. It's not just fixing big issues. Tenant issues could be anything under the sun. They could be calling you for to replace light bulbs, right? The list is just endless on some of the things that they come up with, because people can be very finicky and they're not all perfect, and it can be very frustrating to work with some of these tenants. They're not all just going to be silent, sit there and pay their rent, especially if you're in an older property that does actually need some work, or if it was neglected for years. I just took on a property in Emmaus about 4 months ago from an estate, and the individual that owned it, he passed away and the family inherited this property, and the tenants hadn't paid rent for over 2 years, and he just never did anything about it. But he also didn't fix anything in the property either. So the family came to me, and with estate sales it gets a little complicated, and so with evictions. So I've been working on an eviction for 4.5 months right now in Pennsylvania, which really is a fairly easy state to evict depending on the situation, which again, this is fairly easy because there was no lease. It was a handshake agreement. It's a no-no on both ends. They haven't paid rent, and eventually they're going to end up getting kicked out. These tenants have appealed on me 4 times. 4 times they've appealed on me. Ultimately, it's going to hurt their reputability as a tenant. That sticks with you, tenants, just so you know, that sticks with you. I believe I'm on my last appeal now, but it's a lot of work, a lot of headache, attorney fees, it's time, effort, energy to get these tenants out. So tenant stress is the most overlooked piece of this. Again, if you have these tenants, please don't overlook it. Or again, if you have some that you don't want to deal with, reach out to us. Situation number 3 is just life changes. If you have been in the real estate game for a long time, again, I commend you. It is not for the faint of heart. It's a lot of work. Trust me, I know. My family knows. My wife knows. She's always telling me about it. If you've built up a portfolio over the years and it's been doing well for you for the past 20 years, 30 years, and you just want to retire, you want to be done. Maybe your family doesn't want it, or a very common situation is you're scared on how it's going to be inherited. Even if you have a will, which a lot of people don't, but even if you have a will, a friend of mine who has 6 other siblings, and his father is very scared about what's going to happen when he passes on all the different properties and businesses that they own. Now, again, they have a very robust will, but at the same time, this creates animosity, right? And parents don't want that for their kids. It comes up more often than you think. Life changes and situation changes obviously make you change as a person and make your choice to change. No shame, no harm in making a change, even if you own a property for 20, 30, 40 years. When it comes to these landlords that are looking to sell their properties, what options they have, right? Obviously, you can keep the property. You keep doing what you're doing. You keep renting, keep fielding tenant claims. You keep refreshing the properties and putting new tenants in. Or you can use a property manager, right? Now, that's hit or miss. So depending on where you're at, property managers some are good, some are bad, and there's all the variations in between, right? But at the end of the day, you're still the end manager. You have to manage the managers. And if that's not your style, you don't want to do it, you want it to be something more passive, there are other options. And those options, which number 2, come down to selling. You can sell as is to someone like me. Obviously, you're an investor already. You have properties, so you know how this works. Give me a call and I give you an offer. It's not going to be a retail offer, but it's definitely going to be convenient. I guarantee you that. And if you're a landlord for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, you definitely deserve some convenience, right? Because you worked for it. There are other options, right? This is why one of my favorite clients are retired landlords, is because you usually, if you've owned a property for a long period of time, you have a lot of equity. That means we could do a lot of other things. We don't just have to go with cash offer, with selling finance. We can go with some subject to. We can go with anything under the sun, really. There's probably 20 different ways that we could buy real estate. And again, if you're a landlord and you've been doing this for some time, you know there are a lot of options on the table that don't necessarily require you to lose that passive income, and also save you a lot of tax savings at the end of the day. There's always options on the table. If you're a landlord out there, I respect you. Trust me, I feel your pain, and I know the amount of work that you put in to build a portfolio, keep that portfolio, and keep those tenants happy, right? It's a lot of work. A lot of respect to you guys. If you are thinking about it, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that we relate to you in some way, and that it gave you some options to think about as far as moving towards the next steps. And again, feel free to subscribe, reach out, check out our website, dadlifepropertysolutions.com, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.